Welcome to the Community Difference Frisco. Powered by the Difference Media LLC. Hosted by Brian Poduska. And sponsored by Real Property Management Focus. Certainty Home Lending. Donovan Creative Agency. Stewart Title. The Frisco Fighters Arena Football Team. Total Care. PBJ Mortgage. And by Team Watson Redeemers. The Community Difference Frisco
was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals.
So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts, and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Frisco starts now.
All right. Welcome to episode 12 of the Community Difference Frisco show. We are a show that basically puts a spotlight on local business owners, entrepreneurs, community leaders, Frisco ISD leaders, nonprofit leaders, all the folks who are involved in the community. That is our goal, is to put the spotlight on them, let them tell their story, and then network a little bit online. That's what we're all about. Once again, this is the Community Difference Frisco show. We do have other Community Difference shows. The new one in Plano has launched about a month into it now. We've been going since the beginning of the year, actually the end of last year. The format of the show, we have rotating co-hosts. Every week we have two new co-hosts, and we talk about a business topic of the month. The business topic of February is leveraging social media to increase brand awareness and customer engagement in a local setting. So we're going to talk about that with our co-hosts' guests. So each co-host gets to bring on a guest, and we have some awesome ones today. I'm really excited to bring them on the show. So Lennon, without further ado, let's bring everybody into the screen and say hello. All right. What's up, everybody?
Hey.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hello. How's everyone doing?
Doing great. Excited to see you guys today. Andre, I love your background there, man. That's awesome. We are all about the community, so I got a little bit of Frisco love back here. It's all backwards, so I'd have a hard time with my hands. But no, love that. So our co-host today, Andre Coles, the head coach of the Frisco Fighters. Welcome back. It's good to see you again, Coach. I understand there's one more spot on the team left, and I just threw my hat in before we went live, so we'll see what happens there. Glad we got our technical difficulties worked out. Good to see you. And we've got your two guests. So without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to you guys, and I'll let ladies go first. Kendra, I'm going to open it up to you. I want you to introduce your guest.
Okay. Hey, guys. And first of all, does anybody, I'm going to start this off with a question, if that's okay, Brian. I'm just going to kind of
fire away. You're a co-host.
Does anybody know what the Frisco, what the logo or the Frisco sign represents, or why it looks the shape it does? Does anybody know? Brian?
I think I do.
Okay. What is it?
It's because of the railroad that comes through Frisco. The shape itself, I thought it was because of the railroad, but I don't know. That's about as close as I can get.
So Frisco has been around for a while. It's a little sleepy town, right? That's grown exponentially and like nothing I ever thought it would. So the Frisco sign, actually, that is the raccoon pelt. That is a raccoon pelt. That's what a raccoon pelt looks like when you slice and dice and kill a raccoon and, all that pelt. That's what that is. And that is why the first and original high school for Frisco High were the Raccoons. So that is actually a raccoon pelt. So just thought I'd throw that out because I saw his sign. I was like, I got to do it before I forget. But yeah, so little trivia. But I want to introduce Heather. Heather Gill is a realtor that I have worked with for many years. We have known each other when I was at different companies and representing others, but doing all the BDO work.
Is Kendra frozen on your guys' screen?
I
can see her.
Can y'all hear me?
No, she's good. She's good.
Okay. Okay. Just must be yours, Brian. Anyways, so Heather and I've known each other through a variety of ways, but in real estate, we've done some buyer seller oh seminars together, and she just is somebody that it has the drive that I love to work with, because when she gets knocked down, she picks herself back up and she recreates herself and she goes back after it. And she really has a passion for real estate and a passion for working with her clients and getting her clients better off than they were before by working with them. So she's been great.
Thanks
This
for
is Heather
inviting
Gill
me.
with
I'm
EXP
excited.
Realty.
Thank you.
Well, welcome, Heather. Good to see you. We met a long time ago, I guess. So it's great to see you again. It's been a bit of time since I've seen you, but yeah. So why don't you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself, kind of at a high level, and we'll come back and get a little bit deeper into your story, because I think it's great, and I reiterate what Kendra said, all the good things Kendra said about you. Hardworking and very caring, and you are the number one advocate for your clients. So just give us a quick overview.
No, thank you so much for inviting me. It's a privilege to be here. So just quickly, I'm a residential realtor with EXP Realty, working with buyers, sellers, and investors. And I just love what I do, and I'm so looking forward to our time together. It's going to be awesome.
Awesome. Well, welcome again. Good to see you, and we'll get back to you here in a little bit. Andre, I'm going to kick it over to you. Why don't you give your guests a little bit of love?
So today I have Caroline from the Drury Hotel. So they are just, you hate to pick favorites, but they're our favorite partner here at the Fighters. They go above and beyond for everything that we need as far as hosting our training camp and hosting our visiting teams. And we even had like our dance team tryouts there. And every time I go into that building, there's one person that's working super hard and making sure it runs smooth and everything gets done. And I don't think people realize how big of an operation a hotel can actually be sometimes. So thankful to have Caroline on today.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for inviting me, Dre. Happy to be a partnership with Frisco Fighters. I've been with Drury Hotels now going on almost 10 years. If you don't know about Drury Hotels, we're a family-owned and operated hotel company. We've got about 150 locations in the U.S. and happy to be the general manager here in my hometown of Dallas, Texas. And yes, we've been here in Frisco for about 7 years now and really have seen the area develop like crazy, and just really happy to be here in Frisco, and thanks for having me on the show today.
Well, Caroline, great to have you on the show. Thanks for being on. And that hotel couldn't be better situated, I don't think. The location is great, especially for Andre. And
yeah,
you're right next to the Comerica Center, for those who don't know. And yeah, great location and nice little hotel there. I shouldn't say little. It's a big operation. So no, thanks for joining us today. And you're a Dallas native, huh?
I sure am, born and raised.
Okay, whereabouts?
Actually, just like the Lake Highlands, Preston Hollow area. My parents lived in both of those neighborhoods. But Frisco back in the day always felt like an hour away. You know, all that was up here was the Embassy Suites and the Stonebriar Mall. And just to see it really develop, I'm happy to be a part of the community now.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And good point. I literally was just in Lake Highlands before jumping on the show today. So it's not an hour, I can tell you, with
not anymore. Well, it never was, but
yeah, taking the George Bush and the Dallas Anatolia, I was able to make it here in about a half hour. So luckily, because I don't know if we'd have a show if it was an hour, because it was pretty tight. But no, that's awesome. It's great because on these shows we'll get a whole mix of different people, right? So folks that are natives. I know Kendra, you're native Texan, right? Andre, you're not. I'm not. Heather, are you?
I'm from right up the road. I'm from Oklahoma, but I've been here for over 20 years.
Okay. All right, close enough.
State,
So-
You got here. You got here fast.
You're from here now. That counts.
Got here fast enough. Yep.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, no, it's great, and it's always great to get those different perspectives, especially as the area has changed, and in particular Frisco. It's been crazy. Even in I've been here for 12 years, and it doesn't look at all like it did when I moved here. So I can't imagine the folks who have that perspective from 20, 30 years ago. It's pretty crazy. Well, awesome. Guys, great to have you all on the show today. Thanks for the intros. Like I said, the business topic of the month, so we have a rotating business topic of the month, and we're going to talk about social media and how you guys in particular utilize social media to build your brand awareness, certainly on the local setting here in Frisco. So we'll dive into that a little bit later. So what we're going to do now on the back end, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and on the back end, we have a little segment, What's Up Frisco, and we'll talk about what's going on in Frisco, and then we'll dive into you guys a little bit and what makes you guys tick. So with that, Lennon, hit the commercial, and we'll be right back.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus, Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending, Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers, Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title, Ethan Donovan with Donovan Creative Agency, Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage, Chance Post with Total Care ER and Total Care Networking, Matt England, Director of Corporate Partnerships, and Andre Coles, Head Coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena Football Team. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Because it's time for
What's Up Frisco?
All right, it's that time. What's Up Frisco? So we are going to go around the horn and bring up any current events, any sort of fundraising events, anything you guys want to talk about going on in Frisco. This isn't just stuff that you can Google and find out, oh, Frisco, it has 230,000 people living in it. And, every year they have a 4th of July fireworks show. Now, this is the stuff that in the business community or networking community that may help you out. So with that, I'm going to throw it out to you. I'll go ladies first again. Kendra, do you have anything that you want to call out today?
Not necessarily. No. But one thing I will say is many of us in Frisco get the community newspaper that comes. It's a community events, and you look at it, it looks like it's got a bunch of stuff just about the planning and zoning and all that. Every time, but each of those always has a monthly calendar in it, and it always, and probably usually quarterly. I think that it goes out a couple months, but it always has stuff in it. So go in there and look and find it, because there's always something going on. Always something going on at the Star, always a wine walk or this, or that, but go and look, because there's always a community events in there.
Yeah, that's a good call out. And those are usually either community events, certainly here in Frisco, but a lot of times you get neighborhood events too. So specific neighborhood events. So that's a great place to look. Andre, do you have anything?
Yeah, so I'll plug the Comerica Center here. There is for those that are into it, there is a huge jiu-jitsu tournament here on Saturday. So if that's your vibe, if that's something that you're into, if you want something a little different, that's here at the Comerica Center this Saturday. Awesome. Well, and you mentioned the Comerica Center. I've got a few tickets here to the Legends. While we're talking about that, I've got these here. I can't give them away on the show because they're already spoken for, but we do have some partnerships over there. Great time over at the Legends. Great place to meet people. Great place to bring family too. They got a lot of great kid activities to do on court level, and they have a lot of awesome audience involvement along with that. So check out the Legends as well. Check out the Jiu-Jitsu tournament. That sounds pretty cool. All right. Anybody else have anything else that they want to call out in Frisco?
I'll call out something, Brian.
All right, Heather.
So I'm a big live music fan. I just really love that. And there's so much live music here in North Texas. Shout out to Texas Flood, probably my favorite cover band here locally. But they have a really neat series called the Calaboose series up in Frisco. And they've got an event coming up here on February 22nd. It's a free concert series for those that are into concerts like I am.
Love it. That's awesome. Where is that located?
They have it over at the Frisco Heritage Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that. Well, on the topic of live music, springtime is around the corner, as we know. It feels like it today. It's like low 70s out there today, which is awesome. But downtown Frisco, they always have every spring and into the early summer before it gets really, really hot. They have live music, people playing live music out on the street. So every couple blocks, they have either groups or individual singers playing and singing live music. So it allows you to go for a few hours, walk up and down Main Street in downtown Frisco. I think it's from like 11 to 1 or 10 to 1. I don't have the hours specifically, but we'll have more information on that as it comes up, because it's a good time. I've gone to it the last couple of years, and it's been fun. Good place to stroll up and down with your family, with boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever the case may be. It's a good little event. Okay, going once, going twice.
I'll piggyback off of your spring. So spring break is coming up. A lot of Oklahoma families or even just locals around the area like to have a little staycation. So just, throwing that out there, you can come stay at the Drury Hotel in Frisco. We have free alcohol beverages every night, 5:30 to 7. We also have free food, and that is nightly at our property. And then, of course, a free buffet breakfast every morning as well. We have an indoor pool. I know you mentioned the weather has been great lately, but just in case it isn't, you can always access our rooftop indoor pool. And yeah, just contact me, Caroline Wilcox, General Manager at the Drury. So come stay at the Drury and try us out if you never have.
Good call. Love that. Little staycation action. And Caroline, I wish I had met you years ago, because my son plays hockey over at the Comerica Center quite often. And knowing that you had free food and beverages in the lobby, and maybe that would have been a good time to talk strategy and whatnot.
Absolutely. I mean, you can't beat that. We also have free popcorn, so lots of free amenities with your stay. I would love to have you, Brian. Let me know.
Awesome. That sounds good. I'll stop by one of these days. Awesome. Well, now going once, going twice. Actually, I'm going to stop myself, because I want to make sure that I mention this one last time before it actually happens here. We've mentioned it on previous shows, but it is the first annual Miss Frisco Scholarship Coronation. It's happening this Saturday from 6:30 to 9:30 at Verona Villa. That's over on the Tollway, Dallas North Tollway and Lebanon, I believe it is, or Stonebrook. I always get them mixed up, but it's right off of the Tollway. That is the scholarship will award money to a young woman age 17 to 20, I think low 20s basically. And again, it is a 100% crowdsourced fundraising that funded that. So go check that out. Again, that's this Saturday, 6:30 to 9:30 over at Verona Villa here in Frisco. All right. Now I'll say it for good. Going once, going twice. All right. So, all right. That will put the bow on our What's Up Frisco segment for this week. And with that, we'll transition into learning a little bit more about our guests, right? So this is a time where we get to go deeper into both Caroline and Heather, understand what makes you guys tick and how you got to where you're at. So I'm just going to kick it right over to Caroline. Let's start with you. I'd say ladies first, but there's two ladies, so we're going to start with you, Caroline. You're Dallas native, or Dallas area native, right? What brought you up to Frisco? And what got you involved? Like, how did you end up with Drury? Because that's a unique hotel chain, because it's not small by any means to be family owned. So curious as to how you got to where you're at today.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I'll kind of start back from the beginning. College times, I feel like a lot of 18, 19-year-olds not sure what to do, where to go. My mom was a teacher, so for me, going into education was kind of something that I maybe wanted to do. So I did start in early childhood education. I do love children. But, going into college, my dad was like, Caroline, you're such a people person. Have you thought about hospitality? And I never had. And so it's interesting. I think, someone just kind of putting a bug in your ear like that. And I kind of ran with it. I switched my major over to hotel and restaurant management at Auburn University, which was a phenomenal program. And I really excelled in college. I feel, some of those prerequisite courses, you kind of get lost in translation. But when you actually find the major and the courses that you enjoy, you excel. And I really enjoyed learning. And I actually went to a career fair, and that's how I found out about Drury Hotels. I had never heard of Drury Hotels. You learn about in case studies the Marriotts and the Ritz Carltons and some of those more well-known brands. And so I kind of figured I would go into one of the Marriott Bon Voyage programs or some of those other programs out there. However, when I interviewed and met with Drury Hotels, it just clicked. It's kind of hard to describe, that connection that I felt with the recruiter and the manager and training program that they were offering, and therefore really sounded appealing. And I kind of took the chance and ran with it. And, looking back, would I have thought that I would be with Drury Hotels 10 years later? Absolutely not. It was one of those, okay, let me take this manager and training program. My parents are going to be proud of me. I'm going to have a job after college, that kind of thing. But honestly, I truly believe when you work for a company that takes care of you and really takes care of the team, then you take care of the guest. And so that's really my philosophy, and what Drury Hotels has taught me is taking care of a team and having a fun working environment and a family feel is really, really important. And if you have that, the guest will feel that and really enjoy their time, and they'll feel like they are family as well. And it's been a really special journey. I'm naturally a people person, so I feel like I don't really work. I enjoy what I do, and it's been really rewarding. And I got to Frisco. I started in Nashville, Tennessee. Then I went to Charlotte, North Carolina for 2 years. And then when they mentioned that there was going to be a Drury Hotel opening up in my hometown, I was the first to raise my hand, of course. And I thankfully got the opportunity to open this hotel 7 years ago now as the assistant general manager. And then I opened up the one in the Richardson area 2 years ago well, actually, wow, it's been a while now, at the height of COVID. So that was a very interesting opportunity in Richardson. And then when the GM position opened up here in Frisco, I was like, that's mine. I went for it and I got it. And I'm a believer in everything happens for a reason. And if you work hard, you'll be given those opportunities. And 2 years later, I'm still here. And you mentioned an excellent location. This is such a gold mine of a location here in Frisco, and there's so much on the horizon, and it's really exciting to be here. And I appreciate you having me again. So hopefully that answers your questions and tells you kind of my journey to get where I've gotten.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and congratulations on your success as you've moved around with Drury. It's rare to find that good fit. From a larger company. Now, Drury's not your Marriott, it's not your Hyatt, it's not your, the huge ones, but I've seen Drury's in other towns. And then obviously the one in Frisco, I did 7 years ago. It feels like it was maybe 2 years ago. So it's we got somebody chiming in from Facebook there. I'm not sure who that is, but glad to see you're tuning in. What's up, whoever Facebook user is. But yeah, it seems like it's been only a couple of years, but 7 years in that great location. That's awesome. And congratulations on being able to work your way back to Dallas. Two pretty cool locations, right? Nashville and Charlotte, great cities, and probably pretty good prep to come back to Dallas. And I believe the Richardson one, that's right off I-75. Is that right?
Off of I-75 in George Bush,
Yep.
right in that city line area by the State Farm regional offices.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Another good location over there too.
Absolutely.
So, do you happen to know the story or the strategic rationale behind coming to Frisco of Drury?
Well, I do know that Drury hotels, they really like to build on cow corners, which is basically right off of a highway, right? Right by hospitals, universities, offices. So I don't know if they knew they were really in store for right here, but we are right on a corner here. UNT just opened up a campus up the way. So I wish I could get in their heads. They do a really good job, and they are really strategic about where they place their properties. You just mentioned Richardson off of I-75. Well, that's right by George Bush as well. So yeah, we attract a lot of people right here and get the brand name across, that's for sure.
Well, no, that's awesome. And hopefully there's more Drury locations coming up because, it's a nice little niche in the hotel world because there are so many, Marriott and Hyatt, they all have so many different, and Hilton, they all have many different brands, but they're all run by a large machine, basically, where it feels like Drury is more of that local. Even though there's 110 plus locations or whatever that number that you had mentioned earlier, that's a lot of locations, but you still have, you mentioned the family aspect, and you treat people like family, they feel like family. You don't necessarily get that from the Marriotts and the Hiltons of the world. So that's a nice little niche that you have there, and congratulations on your success with them and the longevity, because like I said, it's rare to find that fit where it's a win because you're happy and you're happy with the fit, which means you're putting out your best effort. That means the company's winning too. So glad you shared that story with us. So thank you, Caroline. We're going to move over to Heather next. Heather, tell us what inspired you to become a realtor, and what's up, Ethan Donovan and Debbie Watson watching.
Hey, Brian, thank you for asking. So I was in the software industry for a number of years, and I did a lot of software training. And I was training, my last job in that was training apartment managers and staff on how to enter in their resident data. And, I could see, how much they were banking every month, right? Because you could, as you were training, you could see what their income was and what have you. And it just hit me one day, why am I training their staff? Why don't I own one of these? So that really kind of lit a fire underneath me, sent me on a journey to learn more about investing overall. And the way life happened, things were going on, had gotten married, become a stepmom, and my company was pushing me to travel 3 weeks out of the month. And I'm like, I've got kids at home now. This isn't going to be a good fit. And they're like, okay, see you later. So let me go. But that really was a start to my story, because my ex-husband and I, we sat down, figured it out. And it was like, okay, go figure out real estate, and we'll go from there. So I became stay-at-home mom / real estate investor, right? And started going down that path, and super grateful to have met Russ and Kim Keith. They're great friends of mine. I started out learning real estate investing from them, took on their social media for their real estate investment business. And that's where I decided to go ahead and get my real estate license. I've been licensed for 6 years now, done a fair amount of investing. We've had buy and hold, we've had short-term rentals, done all sorts of interesting things, met some amazing people in that space as well. But that's the very short and condensed version of it. But yeah.
Well, near and dear to my heart as real estate investors. And I think that's probably what sparked up our original conversation when we met originally is, right. You're not just that realtor that is looking at sale from this is my home that I'm going to live in. You're looking at it also from an investment standpoint,
right.
which, wheelhouse for us, real property management focus. We focus on your real estate investments. Our key clientele are investors. So we obviously have a very nice synergistic fit. And which is, again, probably why we met a long time ago when I started my business. But like I said, great to see you again. We do have to jump off and take a quick break. But on the backside, we will dive into our topic. Again, that's social media for personal branding on the local level. That's what we're going to get into next. I want to hear what you guys are doing on that front, what innovative ideas you have, or what you may have seen out there recently. So we'll dive into that here shortly, but right now we're going to take a quick break. See you shortly.
And now a word from a few of our amazing sponsors that make the Difference Radio, live stream, and podcast network possible.
JP Direct Health offers affordable health insurance solutions for individuals, families, and small businesses specializing in custom coverages to fit your needs and budget. JP Direct Health offers comprehensive benefits, including PPO health plans, accident and critical illness coverage, dental and vision, health matching accounts, along with telehealth at no cost per call. Call JP Direct Health today to learn more about how we can help you protect your health and your budget.
Do you want your home or office to sparkle? Then call Elite Diamond Cleaning today. From basic cleaning to deep cleaning, and using only the highest quality cleaning products and equipment, your satisfaction is guaranteed. Our team of experienced cleaners will work quickly and efficiently to clean every nook and cranny, taking care of all the details so you don't have to. With a variety of pricing options to fit any budget, you can be sure that you are getting the best possible price. Call Elite Diamond Cleaning today at 214-300-9876 to schedule a free estimate. Your home and office is a diamond. Let us get it out of the dust.
Frisco Fighters prepare to reach new heights at Comerica Center this spring. From competitive matchups to exciting theme nights, you won't want to miss a second of the action. Join us and experience high-scoring, hard-hitting indoor football that's fun for the whole family to enjoy. Visit FriscoFighters.com for game highlights, tickets, or to reserve your spot at the Tarmac Tailgate Party. Frisco Fighters, fly with us.
Are you looking to buy a home? The process can be daunting, but it doesn't have to be. With the help of a qualified loan officer like Paul Fisher, you can get the financing you need and get into your dream home. Paul Fisher, a direct local lender with Certainty Home Lending, has many years of experience helping people buy homes. He's knowledgeable, experienced, and he'll work with you to find the best loan for your needs. Contact Paul Fisher today to get started on your home buying journey. He'll help you every step of the way, so you can relax and focus on finding your dream home. Visit www.loansbyfisher.com or call 817-308-7361 to schedule a consultation with Paul. MLS number 2018111. Are you a business owner looking to grow your company? Get fast, easy financing up to $5 million with no minimum FICO score required. Apply in 60 seconds and get funded in 24 hours. Call Jim Thomas at 214-629-7223 to talk to a financing professional today. Your business's future is waiting. So don't delay. Call now and tell him that you saw him on The Difference.
And now back to the show.
All right, welcome back, and thank you to all of our sponsors. Great to see all of our sponsors out there. That Frisco Fighters commercial, love that. Great partnership with the Fighters, and looking forward to that season starting to get ready to kick off here. Tell us a little bit about that, Andre. I want to make sure that people know when you guys are kicking off. And obviously, we've talked about the Comerica Center. That's where you guys play. Yeah. Tell everybody a little bit more about when you guys are launching.
Yeah, so we get started here pretty soon. Our guys get into town March 7th, and they'll be staying at the Drury. And our first practice will be on March 9th, and we'll have our roster done a week from that date on March 15th. And then our first home game is against the Tulsa Oilers on March 22nd, right here at the Comerica Center at 7 o'clock. So we get ramped up pretty quickly here, and it's fast-paced, it's football, it's indoors. So unlike a lot of other sports teams, you actually get to be up close and hear the action and meet our athletes. And we're very community based. So we encourage our players to interact with the fans, to go up and shake a hand and take a picture. So great family fun. And it's football. Who doesn't love football in Texas? So.
No, that's right. And that location again, you are going to be close to the field because what is the seat? It seats about what, 7,000-8,000, something like that.
So where we play, when the football is configured, we use the whole ice. So there's only about 3,800 seats. So there's not a bad seat in the building, and I think you can get a ticket for $15. So super affordable. You can bring the whole family. And football, we only have 8 home dates. So the community falls in love with our team. We do a lot of community outreach, and we're out volunteering and doing as much as we can in the community to better Frisco, as well as be a competitive football team. So by the time we had that second or third home game, everyone knows our players, they know our guys, and it really becomes a family. And these guys love Frisco, and they become a part of the community as well. So looking forward to this year's roster and getting the guys in town and getting rolling.
No, that's awesome. And you mentioned a great place for families. And I want to mention too, I think you mentioned on the last show that you were on that the team itself is owned by a family, right? It's not owned by a large conglomerate.
Yeah, so a lot of people will see indoor football. We play in the indoor football league. It's a national league. So we play everywhere from Boston to San Diego this year. And we are owned by a couple, a husband and wife that had a passion for sports. They were really big into NASCAR, and they saw the growth in Frisco, and they knew that this would be a good place to have an indoor football team. So a lot of the other sports teams in Frisco are owned by major league sports teams, and it's just a one-off. For us, we're passionate about what we do because, our owners could walk in and they're everyday people that love Frisco just like us, and they wanted to do something here to provide an entertainment as well as an opportunity for some football players to get some exposure and be able to continue to play the game that they love.
Love it. That's awesome. And it looks like we've already converted a hockey player into a football fan. That was Ethan Donovan who chimed in.
Nice.
So he's got the Frisco Fighters already on his calendar.
Our field is the same exact dimensions as a hockey rink. So it's cool if you've never seen it. It's cool to see the conversion of how a football field can fit into a ice rink. It's pretty cool to see.
I love those videos of, like when the Mavs switch over to the Stars and vice versa, to see the sped up version of how that happens. Mm-hmm. You guys have to do one of those for the Fighters.
We should. There's so much that happens here. I don't know. There was just a big, I'm going to say this wrong, but there was like a Cirque du Soleil show last week. Yeah. So watching them go from putting that up with all the lights and the stage sets to go into Legends and then putting our turf down for Media Day, and they knock it out so fast. I don't know how they do it, but it's incredible.
Yeah. I have a personal story. I've been kind of a grunt on one of those teams. My daughter used to do competitive gymnastics, and they set up and tear those things down literally within like an hour. And they get all these volunteers, of which I was one of them because it was part of being, part of the program. So based on what your physical ability was, you'd either have to be lifting these gigantic mats or, pushing around these big bars or whatever. But they all fit in a semi trailer truck or two. This is gymnastics. It's got to be similar to circus, I think.
Yeah.
They fit in a couple trailers, and it was in a massive floor. And they tear it down, like you said, in an hour or two. It was amazing.
Incredible.
I just sat there and followed directions and sweat. But it was pretty cool. But all right, well, hey, looking forward to the season, man. It's gonna be awesome. I think we mentioned it before, but we've got some ticket giveaways that we're gonna do through the show here. I'm looking forward to that, getting ramped up and going out and see you guys play. So cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely.
We want to make sure we get as much love for you guys as possible. All right, hey, let's dedicate a little bit of time to the monthly business topic of February, and that is then it's long form, leveraging social media to increase brand awareness and customer engagement in a local setting. So two components of that, right? So three, social media, but its impact on your personal brand and your brand image. And then the second part of that about customer engagement, right? So I want to touch on both of those. And interested to hear your thoughts. And Andre, since we're talking about the fighters, let's go on. Let's go on a little bit more deeper with the fighters and what they're doing in social media and what you in particular. I've seen your social media stuff. That looks fun. I think I commented on one of your posts the other day. You're standing in some funny position. I don't know if you're offensive or defensive kind of lineup look like, but it looked like you were going to the restroom or needed a restroom. So I love that. It was one of those things that made me smile when I saw it, so I had to comment on it. So that that got me engaged. So tell me what you do personally and what the fighters do, to drive engagement, with the community through social media.
So it's with the fighters, it's so multifaceted, right? Because we are a professional sports team, but we have been building a brand from scratch. So we've had to do it all. And I think one of the biggest things that we've realized is that social media changes every 2 months. So what works right now will not work in the summer. So you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to change. You have to be able to keep up with what people want to see at that moment. So you can't take what worked last year or what may have been popular even 3 months ago and try to recreate that. You have to kind of stay with the times and stay in the loop. And the easiest way to stay in the loop is to be yourself, right? We're an indoor football team. We're not going to pretend to be anyone else. 90% of our roster is from the DFW area, so we really lean into that. And for us, it's important that people know who we are first, to know our stories, to know our backgrounds, to know our personalities, because that makes them want to, one, not only partner with us, but then to come to the games, because it's different when you're coming to a game and you feel like, hey, I'm going to watch my friend play. I'm going to watch my friend coach. I understand his background. I understand his story. Hey, coach isn't from Texas. Let me tell him about this restaurant. When we put that kind of information out there, instead of just beating you over the head with buy a ticket, buy a ticket, buy a ticket, people don't want to be sold to. People want to feel like they're your friend. People want to feel like they're making a new connection. And with us, our season ticket holders, they want to feel like they are owners of the team. They want to feel like they have a piece of it. So we really focus on what do our fans want to see? What do our season ticket members want to see? How can we highlight players and how can we highlight ourselves so that people can know our personalities? So even on my own personal social media, I know that everything that I do represents the fighters. So I don't want it to be, I'm really big on leadership and personal development and all those things. If you know anyone that knows me, they would tell you that about me first. But if that's all I posted and that's all I did every day, I'd lose 90% of people. So it's just being yourself. I like to goof off at practice and lighten the mood up. And, that picture was at an open tryout where guys were nervous and, am I going to make it? Am I going to get cut? So sometimes it's just posting something that's goofy where you're just putting yourself out there because now you're relatable to people, where people are comfortable to come up and talk to you. How often can you walk up to a head coach of a pro sports team and just say hello, or even be friends with people on social media and engage back? So I just, from a personal standpoint, am just trying to make sure that people get to know who I am outside of being a football coach. And from a fighter standpoint, it's important that we let the people of Frisco know who we are. And it's important for us to let them know that we want them to be a part of our team. We don't just want to take your money and then send you home when the game is over.
Yeah, that's awesome. A couple of key takeaways there, right? You guys are engaging locally through social media, which is awesome. You hit on both parts of the question as far as how you're doing it locally.
Yeah.
Love the fact that you mix in the personal, the personal and personality, more importantly, with the business aspect of the Frisco Fighters. Because that's kind of what we're doing here too, right? Is that we're trying to just be like, hey, we're a live radio show. We're going to mess up. We're going to say some off the wall shit, right? But when we do, that's who we are. It's all part of our personality. So I love that, you put that out on social media. I love that you tied it in with the Frisco Fighters. That post was pretty darn funny, the one that I commented on, and I've seen other funny ones too. So I love that aspect about.
Yeah, that was a mistake that we made early on, is that we tried to be so serious.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to take us serious. We're a pro team. Nothing can be fun. We need to be, because there are a lot of minor league sports teams that when you go to their social media, it's unprofessional. When you go to their website, it's unprofessional. And then the customer will think, I'm not going to spend my money on that because it's not going to be run professionally. But when you do that first, at some point you have to understand that people respect our brand. Now we can be ourselves. So there are stages to how you build it.
Yeah, no, I love that. And we will have to take a break here pretty quick. I want to throw this out to the group. Have you guys seen on social media, there's a minor league baseball team. I want to say they're like the Bananas or something like that.
Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, there you go. Savannah Bananas. So I don't know anything more about them other than they put out some crazy fun reels and whatnot, and they do dances and all that. Talk about building a brand through social media. Like, who would ever known about those guys unless you live in Savannah? If but now everybody knows about them, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty crazy and cool example of how you can build a national following in this case over social media. But like I mentioned, we do have to take a break. I want to come back to the topic, and ladies, I want you all to chime in. And Caroline, I'm going to let Caroline and Heather, I'm going to let you guys go first, but I want to learn what you guys are doing on the social media side, from a corporate perspective with you, Caroline, and then Heather, obviously more of a personal aspect. And Kendra, I'd like you to chime in on that too, both in the real estate space like myself. So on the backside of the commercial, we'll get into that, but right now let's hit it, Lennon.
The Community Difference is a new series of shows powered by the Difference Radio live stream and podcast network. This series of shows was designed to highlight the unsung heroes that call our towns and communities home. And we wanted to create a platform that brings awareness to and reminds folks of the goodness that lives within so many of us. By working with the local community leaders, business owners, first responders, veterans, schools, and citizens, we want to unite with a clear and selfless purpose. The Community Difference seeks to spotlight the people, events, and activities that are producing positive outcomes, inspirational stories, and incredible experiences. In a world that is consumed with negative press, media manipulation, and propaganda, The Difference, along with many others who believe and support The Difference, understands there is no better way to make the difference than to highlight the unsung heroes that call our towns and communities home. We are currently searching for local communities to be the focus of our shows, but before we can launch a show in your community, we need your help. We need you along with local business leaders, chambers of commerces, major nonprofits, online community group leaders, networking groups, etc., to join us in making the difference and helping your community be seen, be heard, and be remembered. So, if you would like to know how you, your business, school, social media community, church, or your favorite nonprofit organization can be a part of this unique and powerful program, reach out to us today and introduce yourself and let us know how you would like to contribute and bring awareness to the amazing people, places, and events that are making the difference in the community you love. You can call us at 972-866-4596 or email us at info@thedifferenceradio.com.
And now, back to the show.
Okay, welcome back. Love that little segment there. I won't go too deep into the difference in the community shows, but I've been doing the difference since its inception about 4 years ago. And Kendra, you were there along with the original group when we were actually in basically a radio studio, soundproof room, boom microphones, all that. And the pandemic rolled around and we had to change the way we did things, and we've evolved and we've done some different things, and to the point where you see us now in this environment, kind of, we broadcast through StreamYard, but you see us on different streaming platforms. You hear us on different internet radio. But the whole idea is really getting to know multiple people through this medium, right? I knew Heather face to face previously. I knew Kendra face-to-face previously. Andre, I hadn't met you until we started The Difference. And Caroline, I just met you today and already feel like we have a connection just because of, sharing our stories online. So anybody who's interested in doing something like this, there are other community shows launching. We do have a couple co-host chairs open here in Frisco. So if you're in Frisco and you're interested in getting involved, look me up, look Andre up, look Kendra up, look Lennon Wilson, who's in the background. He's the creator of The Difference. He's our Wizard of Oz behind the scenes who produces the shows. Our information throughout the show is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. So reach out to any of us if you're interested in getting involved. All right. With that being said, guys, ladies, I promised we'd come back to you guys. Oh, there we go. Ethan chiming in about the Savannah bananas. That's exactly right. So ladies, specifically, let's start with you, Caroline. Social media, what are you guys doing at Drury? And, from a personal brand building perspective, more of the corporate, but I'm sure you have your personal brand also tied in with that. And then how do you tie it in locally as well?
Absolutely. Good question. So when I first started with Drury, I kind of, asked the question, why don't we advertise more? And the answer was always, well, we build our brand off of word of mouth, and which I loved. But nowadays you do have to keep up with the times, like Dre said. So we have in the past recent years definitely upped our marketing, advertising through social media. A simple reel will go a long way, as we saw with the Savannah bananas. Maybe not a TV commercial, but a simple reel. I would say something that's really important with brand awareness and social media is consistency. I think a consistent approach to social media is really important, and definitely trying to announce, whether it's discount codes for spring break or summer months, or maybe some of our slower months, so we get more business out there, catering to specific guests that way. I would also say something that I'm really looking forward to. We're actually doing some giveaways with the local community. Obviously, the Frisco Fighters, we're looking to give away some complimentary nights. They have away games in San Antonio, also some other areas that have Drury hotels. So to be able to work with partnerships and work to do giveaways like that, it definitely spreads brand awareness. But I'm just happy to see that Drury Hotels is kind of getting with the times. Being family owned and operated, I would consider ourselves a little old school at times, but it's nice to see. You definitely have to make sure you're staying consistent and definitely catering to the guest out there.
Awesome. Well, you said the big C word, consistency, right? Mm-hmm. That when you said that, it kind of the light bulb went off in my head. I'm like, you nailed it, because consistency is key. I'm curious, with a larger group like Drury, is there a social media department?
There is. There always hasn't been, though. It came recently in the past couple years. So slowly but surely we're getting there. We do have an Instagram at Drury Hotels. We don't have specific hotel location Instagrams yet. It kind of funnels through our main one. And then we do have Facebook specific locations. But obviously now I feel like TikToks and Instagrams are a little bit more popular, I guess you would say. But Facebook is consistent as well. So yeah, we're working on it and getting there and just kind of seeing what's working with our guests. So it's exciting to see that we are upping our advertisements. You see in the Super Bowl ads, Marriott's and Hilton's, or, just the ESPN network always promotes those hotels. So hopefully one day we'll get there, but definitely working our way up there.
Love it. Well, you have to up your marketing budget and your advertising budget. The $7 million per 30-second spot is a little frightening.
Yeah, maybe so. I would definitely venture to say 7 million is crazy. Yeah.
Well, we'll start baby steps in TikTok and Instagram Reels, but no, that's awesome. And I assumed you guys did have a social media group, but doesn't surprise me that they've only been around for a couple of years. So cool. Well, thanks for sharing. I appreciate that, Caroline.
Absolutely.
All right, Heather and Kendra. In the real estate space, obviously. Heather, let's start with you. I noticed it because we're friends on Facebook, so I know that you do a lot of video posting and things like that. Tell me strategically, what have you done to up your ante in social media to build both that personal brand and then also to connect on the community level?
There's already been some really good things shared, and I'll reiterate, consistency is key, because what is it called? It's called a feed. And what do you got to do with the feed? You got to feed it. You know what I'm saying? So being consistent and moving those things forward is great. But like, another thing too, you can't take yourself too seriously. I mean, I'm very serious about my profession. I bring myself 100% to my game when I'm there and I'm working on behalf of my clients. But social media is a place where we are supposed to have a little bit of fun. And I think the biggest mistake I made early on was trying to be a little too serious. And so one thing I found over the past couple of years, took a funny picture and I was thinking, what am I going to say? Like, what would a good one-liner be here to engage people? And then I was like, what if I just push it out to my feed and be like, quote unquote, make me laugh. Like, you write it. You tell me what you think's going on here. And I have gotten so much engagement just by turning those ideas back over to the people that are following me. And honestly, they come up with some better zingers than I would have come up with anyway. So I find that helps to just promote the conversation, right? Because we're just talking about this thing or that thing. So yeah, that's definitely part of my approach. The videos are a part of my approach. I try to be really intentional about my videos. I usually think through and talk through them before I press live, just so I kind of have my talking points together. But even when I do that, sometimes I'm surprised at what comes out of my mouth too. So my audience, they expect that from me. But that's my 2 cents for you.
Yeah, well, that's great. And that's the beauty of it too, right? Is that if you may want to think through what you're going to say, but when it comes out of your mouth, it's not scripted, it's right. Authentic. And it's like, all right, whatever I say, go be yourself. Right.
Right.
I do like the open-ended questions. Andre, I think that's what made me comment on your post, is that one that you were bending over. And I think you asked something to the effect of, what am I doing here? So I replied with, it looks like you need to find a restroom. But it's like, that's where you get stupid ass responses like that, right? Like right. Heather, like what you were saying, sometimes people come up with good zingers that you wouldn't even thought of. So love that. That's a great idea. The open-ended question is fantastic. Kendra, what about you? What about you and Stuart? And what about you and Kendra?
So me and Kendra and me and Stuart, as well as, because my role is to work with realtors and lenders and everyone in the real estate profession to just help them grow their business and just to be that partner, that connection that provides value. Honestly, and it's really interesting. I was at a panel this morning with 4 realtors that have a completely different way of doing their business. But the main thing was each of them found their voice. They found their shtick, if you want to call it that. They found their uniqueness. And again, it's consistency, like Caroline said. It's basically, or Caroline, sorry. It's deciding what you want to portray, what you want to get out on social media, and do it. And not have fear about it. One gal today asked, well, I do all this volunteering and then I feel kind of weird asking them or telling them I'm a realtor. And one of the things that I said, and one of the things that 2 of the other realtors said was, that sounds like you're fearful. Get rid of that. But number 2, make sure that your social media page, your Facebook, your Instagram, talks about being a real estate agent, that everyone knows you're a realtor by trade. So those people that meet you during that volunteer aspect of your world, they're going to go, oh, she's also a realtor. I really like her. I really trust her. I enjoy hanging out with her at this other aspect of her life. I am going to hire her to be a realtor. So it's the whole thing of, I talk to realtors all the time about this, who I look at their Facebook page and I go, okay, you have 450 friends. What are you doing? What are you doing? You don't even have the real estate agent. You're not even posting about the housing market or anything. And that's where we come into play, is that if people go and like my Stuart Title Richardson page or the Plano page or the Frisco page, preferably my Richardson, you can share all our social media posts. We have things that are posted on there daily from our marketing people that are in Texas, our national marketing group, and then our local. And so it's kind of like, steal it, take it, share it. And it looks like you are basically just providing information to the general public. and figure out your stick. If it's about being motivational Mondays, if it's about just posting always about the next open house, whatever is you. And like Heather and y'all have found out, the best videos are not the ones we script. And I stink at videos, but the best videos are unscripted. And those are where you become real to people and then they go, oh, that's funny. I'm going to reach out to them. So that's my take.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. And I mean, it goes back to the personal, forming that personal connection, right?
Right.
So yeah, consistency, personal connection. Yeah, I love those ideas. I had something in my head that I was going to say to you, Kendra. It'll come back to me. But anyway, so diving a little bit deeper, guys, on the topic, we do only have about a minute to break. So I want anybody with a short, concise thought on the topic, and then we can put a bow on the topic, and we'll come back on the other side of the commercial break with our rapid fire segment. But does anybody else have anything they want to share about social media as it relates to your personal brand build, and then also, taking it to the community level?
I'll speak up on this one. There's like how many platforms now? How many different ways we can share on social media? I mean, it just seems like every day there's something new popping up. Find what you feel comfortable with and just dominate that. You don't need to be on every single platform. I was talking with a new agent this week about this very thing. He was talking about TikTok and all these other things that are out there. And I'm like, pick one or two and dominate. Don't do them all.
That's a great call. And that's, when it comes to what we're doing here in The Difference, again, it comes back to that building personal connection with our audience, right? This is why we have you guys talk about your lives outside of exactly what it is you do. Now, of course, we want people to know what you do, but we want people in our audience to know who you are and how you got to where you're at, right? So it's all about that personal connection. And yeah, you don't have to do it through one social media platform. Like you said, Heather, there's probably hundreds out there, if not thousands. There's the few 5 to 10 big ones, but you don't need to be on everyone. And you probably don't want to be on everyone because certain ones skew to certain demographics, right? So pick and choose. You don't have to do them all. Love that. Awesome ad. Awesome knowledge, guys, on the topic. Thanks for sharing all those tidbits and nuggets about it. Hopefully our audience learned a little something on that topic. Let's take a quick commercial break, and we're going to do our rapid fire segment on the back end. And that's where I'm just going to ask you guys some off the wall questions, some very relevant questions. I haven't prepped anybody on these, so buckle up and get ready. Until then, let's take this quick commercial break.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus; Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending; Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers; Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title; Ethan Donovan with Donovan Creative Agency; Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage; Chance Post with Total Care ER and Total Care Networking; Matt England, Director of Corporate Partnerships, and Andre Coles, Head Coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena Football Team. The Community Difference Frisco. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Rapid fire.
All right, I love our new sounder. I had to duck for cover there because I thought I was getting shot at. We are in Texas, so we got to be
okay.
All right, so our rapid fire segment. This is where like I said, I'm just going to fire off some questions. You're going to answer them. You don't have to explain them. Preferably, don't explain them, so we can mull over what you might have meant by that answer. So keep your answers short, sweet, and to the point. All right. First question. If you were the concierge at Drury Hotels and a client came up to you, or a customer or a guest at the hotel came up to you and said, what is the one thing I have to do here in Frisco tonight? What's your answer going to be? And since I'm talking about Drury, Caroline, I'm going to start with you.
Oh gosh. Okay. Go to Sidecar Social at the Star and catch a basketball game, hopefully NCAA tournament.
Love it. Okay, Heather, what about you?
Sushi Marquee is awesome. We used to do a happy hour there, and that would be the best place on the night like tonight because the weather's so great. Go dine out on their patio and have one of their amazing cocktails because they do good stuff there.
Love it. Andre?
I would say that you have to check out the Star.
Agreed. Good place. Kendra?
I'm going to say the same thing. Go check out the Star and find someplace fun to eat. And if there's a good game on, a basketball game or football, which of course there is not right now, except for with the Frisco Fighters, go to Sidecar Social.
Okay, cool. I agree with Sidecar. Great place. Awesome. I'm going to add PGA. Go up to the PGA Frisco. Get up on that dance floor. Do some putting. Walk the grounds. It's beautiful up there. If you're at all interested in golf, get up there and check it out. All right, that's question number 1. Let's see. Question number 2. What is the one thing on your bucket list that you haven't done yet that you're planning on doing in the next 2 years? All right, bucket list item, next 2 years. And we're going to go reverse order. So, Kendra, you're up first.
Okay, so you don't mean local, like just bucket list.
Well, if there's something in your bucket list local that you haven't done, go for it.
No. Bucket list would probably be to go back to Paris. Go back to Europe.
Okay, Europe. Like it.
Been to Europe a bunch, but haven't been to Paris since I graduated from college, and that was a long time ago. And I'm not telling you how long. So.
What you got, Andre?
I'm going to go local. I'm a city boy, but I've never been to the rodeo, so I got to check that out.
Rodeo, love it. Love it. Lennon can talk a little bit about that in another show. Heather, what about you?
So Australia and Antarctica.
The 2 A's. Love it. Very cool. Caroline?
I'm going to go with the travel trend, and I would say I would love to get paid to travel. I feel like that's my dream. So maybe taking up some travel agent stuff on the side and get paid to, go on a full paid vacation. Who wouldn't want to do that?
Sign me up. I'm all about that. I'm going to go more on the crazy feat, right? So how about skydiving? I haven't done skydiving. I don't want to do it before I die.
But are you going to do it in 2 years, though?
That's a great question. Since you're holding my feet to the fire, I will commit to doing it in the next 2 years.
I'm following up with you.
Okay. That's good. Deal. Let's do it. All right. Next question. We're going to go back to being local now. Okay. So what is your favorite thing about the Frisco community? And we'll go gentlemen first. Andre?
My favorite thing about Frisco is just how diverse of a place it is to live in.
Okay, diversity, love it. Kendra?
I'm going to have to say the same thing. It's the diversity, and it's even in the schools, and it's so different than anywhere else you are because it truly is diverse, and people don't realize it really is. So I like it a lot.
Yep, very accurate. Agreed. Caroline?
I would say 2 things: vibrant and safe.
Oh, you stole mine. I was going to say safe. I'll come up with another one. That's cool. No, great answers. Love it. Heather?
Related to diversity is variety. I just feel like there's, the variety is the spice of life. I can literally go to a one-off coffee shop like Summer Moon or go to the farmer's market and meet some really great people doing interesting things, and I love that.
Cool. Love that too. Yep, safety was mine. So you stole that one, Caroline, but I'm going to go with sports, right? I'm a big sports nerd. We are Sports City, USA. I don't know who dubbed us that moniker, but I roll with it. There's not a lack of any sports to do around here, either viewing or playing or getting involved. So that's going to be mine. All right. We've talked about all the great things about Frisco. I have to ask, what is the one thing that you wish Frisco had? So that Frisco doesn't currently have that you wish they do have or did have. Caroline, let's start with you.
Live music venue, but it's in the works. So I'm excited about that.
Cool. Good answer. Yes, there is one big one in the works and multiple other smaller ones. In the meantime, one of our guests, the owner of Rock and Taco, if you want to see some live music on Main Street on any given night, head over to Rock and Taco and check that out until the bigger venues are available. Heather, what do you got?
Frisco has so much to offer, so I'm just going to give a one-off answer. They need some caves for spelunking because I think, that's one thing they don't have.
Okay, that's a good, unique one. I'm not sure if Mother Nature would cooperate with that, given our
right.
I like it. Cool. Andre?
A different answer from me. I think Frisco needs an indoor training facility that the majority of people have access to. Right now, all of the ones that are in town are super expensive, and the average everyday person can't go. I'd love to see an indoor training facility that every resident could go to.
Okay, I like that. Very good. Kendra?
Okay, so I'm going to keep saying this until it actually happens, and you probably know what I'm going to say, Brian. And my children will laugh at me. And I have adult sons that have been born and raised in Frisco, and they tell me that, Mother, oh, those are first world problems. Get over yourself. But Frisco does not have a Trader Joe's, nor do we have a Whole Foods. Well, we do have a lovely big hole in the ground where the Whole Foods is supposed to be, but we need a Whole Foods and Trader Joe's.
Yep.
I need to convert you to HEB.
How do they spell that? Do they spell that HOLE Foods?
Yeah, I think so. That's what they spell it as. And I go to HEB, but I like my Trader Joe's a lot. So
it is HOLE Foods right now, given the big crater that is right in the middle of Frisco. But I have heard things are moving forward on that front as well. So my answer is going to be the standard. We need Chicago-style pizza. I'm from Chicago. Pizza here is meh or mediocre at best. We don't have any good Chicago-style pizza. So Lou Malnati's, let's go. Talk to me, reach out to me, and we'll start you up here in Frisco.
P-quads for me.
Okay, P-quads is cool. I disagree. We can have that battle, Caroline. We'll sit across from the table and arm wrestle over that one.
Sounds good.
All right. Hey guys, one more question, then we're going to wrap up. It's been it's hard to believe we're already there. Okay, so this is going to be a quick one. Let me see if I can pick up one that's not going to require too much. All right, if you can meet one person, dead or alive, who would it be? No explanation needed, but who would that person be? Let's start with Kendra.
Oh, wow, you got me stumped. Dead or alive, who would I want to meet?
All right, we'll come back to you. Andre.
Yeah, come back to me.
Kobe Bryant.
Oh, that's one. That's my go-to, but that's cool. I'll come up with another one. Heather.
I'll go with Jesus.
Jesus, I like it. Okay, Caroline.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay. Kendra.
I'd say Mary, actually.
All right, we got religion going on. I'm going to go Abraham Lincoln.
All right.
Okay.
All right, good deal. So with that, guys, we have come to the end of the show. I want to make sure that we all, Ethan wants to talk to Mark Cuban. Yep, good call. I like that one. I want everybody to give your information, what you do, how to get a hold of you as we close down here. Certainly reach out. Anybody who's watching, reach out to these folks. They're awesome as you've seen over the last hour and a half. They're all local. We all do great stuff in the community. So thank you all for being on the show today. We're going to start with our guests, and I'm going to go in reverse order here on my screen. Caroline, I'm going to let you go first. Who are you, what you do, and how to get a hold of you?
Awesome. Yes. So thank you for having me, guys. I'm Caroline Wilcox, General Manager of the Drury Hotel in Frisco. I've got a LinkedIn. You can add me there. We can connect there. Also, just email is fine. You can always call the property and ask to speak with the general manager, and I can hook you up. But my email is my first and last name with a period in between at druryhotels.com. Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Caroline. Appreciate you. Heather, you're up.
Hi, I'm Heather Gill. Thank you so much for having me on today. This has been a lot of fun. So a couple of ways you can find out about me. Voyage Magazine in Dallas just did a spotlight on me. So if you look up Heather Gill, Voyage Magazine, you'll find me there. I was just voted Best Realtor in Carrollton for the second year in a row. So you can find out more if you Google that. And then if you just want to look me up, it's Heather Gill Realtor. And you'll find everything there. Thank you again.
Awesome. Heather, Caroline, thank you so much for being our guest today. It was great to see you guys today, and look to have you back on at a future show. All right, to our co-hosts. Ladies first, Kendra.
So I'm Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title. I sit in the Richardson office. However, I sell for all over Collin County, Dallas County, Denton County. I work mainly with realtors and lenders and help y'all basically help you with the holes in your work and your job and try to help you get more contracts and figure out what your business role is and model. I love real estate. I have a passion for real estate. I've been in the industry for 10 years. I have my license, so I know the contract well. I actually really enjoy all the updates and knowing it. But my role really is just to help connect people. But you can find me on you can find me Stewart Title Richardson at the Facebook page. You can find me on my personal Facebook page, and my information is out there. So would love to connect.
Awesome. Thank you, Kendra. Good to see you again. Dre, you're up, my man.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Andre Coles. I'm the head coach of the Frisco Fighters indoor football team. You can find me just by typing my name into any social media platform. My email is acoles@dallasstars.com. So if you guys are looking to partner, or if you need any volunteers or any type of community service work, feel free to reach out. We love to have our team do anything that we can do in Frisco just to help out. So feel free to reach out. No ask is too big.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, guys. I am Brian Poduska. I'm your host of the Community Difference Frisco show. I'm also the owner of Real Property Management Focus, real estate company, property management, sales, all that. Thanks again for joining us. Everybody on the show today, you were awesome. Thanks for your insights. Thanks for all the information. We have the same topic going on next week. So look forward to that same time, 2:30 p.m. And have a wonderful weekend, guys. And be safe. Have fun. Take care. Peace out.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Frisco is made possible by Brian Poduska, owner of Real Property Management Focus. Paul Fisher, loan officer with Certainty Home Lending. Debbie Watson with Team Watson Redeemers. Kendra Kennedy with Stewart Title. Ethan Donovan with Donovan Creative Agency. Jacqueline Kreider with PBJ Mortgage. Chance Post with Total Care ER and Total Care Networking. Matt England, Director of Corporate Partnerships, and Andre Coles, head coach of the Frisco Fighters Arena football team.